Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says she remains focused on the fight against the illegal drug trade, despite what she described as politically motivated attacks against her during Saturday's African Emancipation Day celebrations. In a statement issued on Monday, the Prime Minister claimed political opponents and others had planned to target her with racist insults during the event, but said those efforts failed because she did not attend. She argued that the incident reflected a broader attempt to attack supporters of the United National Congress and accused the opposition of using a national celebration for political purposes. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar also criticized what she described as the example being set for the younger generation, saying Emancipation Day should be a time of unity and respect rather than political hostility. The Prime Minister added that she expects similar criticism during Independence Day celebrations, but stressed that her government will remain focused on combating the illegal drug trade. In more news, UNC Chairman Devendranath Thakur is condemning the heckling of Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, SC, and Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin during African Emancipation Day celebrations, calling it an act of political intolerance. Mr. Thakur described the incident as a deliberate attempt to inject division into an occasion centered on freedom, dignity, and unity, and said the targeting of two women leaders was particularly shameful. He accused the opposition PNM of engaging in divisive politics, claiming the party is attempting to distract from its own internal challenges rather than offering constructive alternatives. The UNC chairman said the government remains focused on rebuilding confidence, growing the economy, and bringing citizens together, arguing that the electorate rejected politics based on division during the last general election. Minister Thakur said the country must move beyond what he called divide and rule tactics and pledged to continue standing against discrimination and disrespect towards women in leadership. He urged citizens to embrace national unity, saying the UNC will not allow those who promote division to take the country backwards. And in further news, Attorney General John Jeremy has also pushed back against criticism of this year's Emancipation Day program, rejecting claims that it promoted division or was influenced by racism. In a statement on Monday evening, the AG defended Professor Selwyn Cudjoe, who led the development of the program, describing him as a respected scholar with decades of work documenting Caribbean history and the experiences of people of African descent. The Attorney General said it was unfair and without basis to suggest that a program created under Professor Cudjoe's guidance could promote discrimination or division. AG Jeremy also defended Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin, saying she has carried out her duties with professionalism and inclusivity while representing a constituency with deep ties to the country's African heritage. He also dismissed claims that the government is discriminatory towards citizens of African descent, pointing to the appointment of Afro-Trinbagonians to several senior state positions. And in sport, a 20-member track and field contingent departed on Monday to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Oregon. On the team are the likes of 2026 Carifta medalist Jenna Marie Thomas and Corey Robley, along with Omari Brown, Alex Sipasad, Cristiano Perez, and Kadeem Chinapu. Also present is Kaya Hyson and Trevon Stewart. The championships is set to take place on the Hayward Field at the University of Oregon and will run from August 5th to 9th. And that's what's making the news at this time. But joining us right now is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you today? Happy Tuesday.
Yes, it is only Tuesday. I was like losing track. Like when I woke up this morning, I was like, is it Tuesday or Wednesday? You know?
Yeah. For some reason, the days have just been flying by pretty quickly, and I'm not mad about that.
No, not mad at all. You know, sometimes days just fuse into each other and then you kind of lose track like I did today.
Yeah. Well, Carrie, it's a beautiful day outside. It's nice, not too much traffic, and I hope I'm not jinxing that at all. But because, you know, school is out, I'm thoroughly enjoying that. What about you? How was your drive here today?
But yeah, my drive was nice and smooth. I mean, I did catch like almost every red light. That was the one thing I was like, everyone, boy, you know, so each time I have to like slow down and come to a stop and wait 2-3 minutes, depending on which light it is. And, you know, then I'm like, Come on, hurry up, right?
Well, Carrie, before we head to the break, I want to share something with you. You know, we've been so obsessed with protein maxing. So, you know, the whole hype is about getting all your protein in for the day, eat your body weight in protein and all of that. But actually, a major scientific review has been saying that eating less protein might be the secret to a healthier, longer life.
I don't know, like science says one thing one time and then science says something else another time, and you know, then somebody else with some new discovery comes out and
well,
they're
I mean,
like,
for somebody who has a problem getting a lot of protein in their diet, that's confirmation bias for me. But genuinely, I think we've been so hyperfixated on getting so much protein into our diets that we're forgetting to have a healthy and balanced diet. So you know what? As we always say, everything in moderation. But it's something worth looking into.
Everything. I agree. Everything in moderation. I mean, yes, your body needs protein to repair and to build muscle, etc. But your body also needs carbs. Your body also needs fats. It also needs, you know, the micronutrients as well.
And it also needs a chocolate chip cookie, because today is World Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Had I known before, I would have baked a batch, Virmala.
Okay, if you say so. How many times have we heard Carrie say, if I had known before, or I could have done this before?
My thing is, I'm usually so busy, I don't like keep up with these dates and these.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find every occasion that involves yummy food, and I'm going to tell you in advance.
Right.
And you're going to start preparing that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we could agree to that. I'm not sure I will prepare them every single time, but the possibility is higher now if I know beforehand. So then I could be like, you know what, I will make some chocolate chip cookies today. And I happen to have a very mean recipe, by the way.
You see, and there's some secret ingredient, I am absolutely sure, because you always have some secret
ingredient is always love.
Love, I know.
Always love. I mean,
right. He's saying that, and ladies and gentlemen, before you know it, he's putting something like a bay leaf in there or some cumin or something. Do not believe the chef when they say that the only secret ingredient is love. It is love, but there's something extra special in there.
But come on, all right, let's backtrack a little bit. When you cook something, right, or you bake something or whatever, and you are angry or you stressed or something when you're making that, you know, it comes out in the food.
I don't know about you. I love to stress bake, and I'm not, you know, it's my therapy. You know what, Carrie? You have a good day.
You know, you have a good day as well. You know, there's a few minutes before the show starts. So I want to wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful show.
Thank you very much.
No
Have a good day,
you know,
Carrie. We'll talk to you soon.
I will put the love in it and bring that for you.
And we'll celebrate with a chocolate chip cookie a little later on. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks so much, Virmala. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this short break.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
Tuesday, 4th August 2026. The time now, it is 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Well, Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bisesa has announced that 30 joint army and police security posts will be established across Trinidad over the next 4 months as part of the government's ongoing crime-fighting strategy. The Prime Minister said the initiative is aimed at increasing the visibility of security forces in communities that have long called for a stronger protective services presence. And she said the posts are intended to help residents feel safer while allowing communities to reclaim and make greater use of public spaces. The planned locations include major intersections, highways and communities like the Taruba Flyover, Grand Bazaar and Couva interchanges, Williamsville Junction, Guayaguayari, Kelly Village, Carson Field, Lady Young Road, Golconda Interchange and Icacus Junction, with 6 additional sites still to be identified. The Prime Minister also called on non-governmental organizations, the business chambers, community groups and local councils to support and adopt the security posts by working alongside the protective services. And in other news now, health officials in the U.S. state of Michigan have confirmed the first 2 deaths linked to the ongoing cyclospora outbreak. Authorities say both individuals had significant underlying health conditions that may have been worsened by the parasitic infection and dehydration. The foodborne illness, which spreads through contaminated food or water, has now been reported in 45 states with nearly 7,000 confirmed cases nationwide. And while the infection can cause severe diarrhea, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says deaths from cyclosporiasis remain rare. And remember customizing your profile, picking your top 8 friends and letting your friends decide your favorite song and let that play the moment someone visited your page? Well, MySpace may be getting another shot at life. And more than 20 years, I feel old, after it was launched, the platform's owners say that they're planning to relaunch the once iconic social network and are simply waiting for the right time. And while previous comeback attempts didn't quite stick, they believe the MySpace brand still has plenty of potential. The big question now is there still room for MySpace in today's social media world, and would you use it? Well, finally, a little reminder this morning about kindness from the world of entertainment. Ariana Grande is set to take a break from public life once her Eternal Sunshine tour ends next month, following what her representative described as endless scrutiny surrounding the singer. And Grande will also step away from a planned London stage production as she takes some time away from public-facing work. Well, this announcement comes after years of intense commentary and speculation about her appearance, I'm sure you've heard it, and her well-being. And fans have been flooding her social media with messages of support. And perhaps there's a simple lesson in all of this. Fame doesn't make someone immune to hurt. Behind the performances, the photographs, any celebrity status is still a human being. So whether or not it's someone we know personally, let's remember to be a little kinder with our words. And you really never know what someone is carrying. Well, you know what to do right about now. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventing cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Team Trinidad and Tobago has once again made its mark on the international stage, returning from the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow with an impressive 4 athletics medals. The team secured 2 silver and 2 bronze medals, highlighted by standout performances from Jareem Richards, Shanika Bascom, the women's 4x100 meter relay team, and para-athlete Akeem Stewart, whose medal was a historic first for Team TTO at the Games. And joining us this morning is Mr. Dexter Voisin, team manager for track and field, to reflect on the team's success, the performances that captured the nation's attention, and what's next for Trinidad and Tobago athletics. Good morning.
Yes, and good morning to you and the viewers, and I guess those who online as well.
Well, firstly, I have to say congratulations on all the success. I can only imagine, the excitement and the feeling. How's that all been?
Oh, it's a pretty good feeling based on the composition of our 12-member team that took part in the track and field at the Commonwealth Games. A mixture of very experienced and emerging talents. So definitely the results we got is very pleasing and excitement in the air. With regards to the para, it's the first time it was linked to the actual track and field. So basically, para normally is held separately, but this time around at this games, it was merged with track and field. So we also welcome the bronze medalist from Akim Stewart from the para.
Yeah. Well, let's start with Jareem Richards. I know he once again delivered on the big stage and added another Commonwealth medal to his absolutely impressive career. Now, what does his consistency and leadership mean to the younger athletes coming through the program?
Well, certainly Jareem, his name is being written in the track and field books in terms of his longevity and his performances on the world stage, and not just track and field, but I guess when his time has come to an end in terms of retirement, he will be a name that Trinidad and Tobago will be very familiar with in terms of sport generally. His commitment, his approach, and everything as an athlete, a professional athlete, certainly augurs well for the young upcoming athletes who are paying particular attention to him. So definitely he's what we call a leader at this stage. And even though he's still competing, every opportunity he gets to share his experience with the younger athletes, he always do. So kudos to Jareem. And I know that he has mentioned it, as this is not hearsay, that he don't think you have too long in the sport again, but definitely his name going to go down in the history books.
Yeah, and let's talk about Shanika now. And Shanika Bascom enjoyed a breakthrough games, winning individual silver in the 200 meters before helping the women's 4 by 100 meter relay team secure that bronze. Now, how significant is her emergence for the future of Trinidad and Tobago sprinting?
Well, for those who have been following the sport, Shanika Bascom's name has been calling from since she has been at the age of 14, 15, coming up in the junior ranks. As a matter of fact, she was tipped to be the next leading woman sprinter in track and field all during that period based on her performances as a junior athlete. However, she had some setbacks a couple of years. She moved to Jamaica for the past year or so, and we are really seeing a re-emergence of Shanika Bascom. And this is a very good way to re-emerge as a promising athlete on the world stage at this level of competition. So again, Shanika is someone we definitely have to look for in the future. She's based on my interaction with her at the games, her whole composure, everything has changed, and certainly big things ahead for her once she stay healthy and continues.
Now, extending that to the team, I know the entire team really performed well for that bronze. From a team manager's perspective, what impressed you most about that performance and the chemistry within the entire team?
Well, first of all, we recognized very early that there would have been some challenges with the relay team. And these challenges came from the fact that we had two athletes competing both the 1 and 200 meters, where we had two competing in only the 100 meters, and then the fifth person, the alternate, was competing in the long jump. And based on the schedule, it would be identified very early. It would have been very difficult for us to get that chemistry going, the practice that is needed for such a type of performance. So the athletes were told very early, and I must say congratulations to them and kudos to them. They would have made sacrifices in the sense of they agreed that immediately after their individual event, where an athlete will normally take a day or two off, the following day they're going to sacrifice and come out to do the practice. Shaniqua, who was competing in the 200 finals, also made a sacrifice that during her preparation for the 200 meters, she would have sacrificed some time to do some battle passing and practice, which they did with the limited time and what we achieved, getting that bronze medal. I think it was awesome and very, very, very exciting yes, the
Yeah.
outcome.
I want to go back to what you were talking about earlier about Akeem Stewart and that historic bronze in the integrated discus event. That's amazing. Now, how important was that achievement, not only for para athletics but for the entire national delegation?
Well, Akeem Stewart, as I mentioned before, when the para has been separated in previous times, that the Olympic and the Special Para Games, he have been dominating in several of his events. As a matter of fact, he holds a couple world record in the javelin and another event. But Akeem Stewart, in particular, also competes as an able body in our entries events. He has also represented Trinidad and Tobago in the past as an able body at the CAC Games and regional games. So this medal for him at, at the para competition also is very important for us in track and field as a whole. And it augurs well, this historic bronze medal. And it also gives the opportunity for others who in the para division to come forward and compete at the world stage, if I may say. So Akeem Stewart medal also is very rewarding, and it augurs well for track and field on the whole, even though he's a para athlete.
Yeah. Mr. Voss, and beyond the medals, were there any performances or athletes that may not have reached the podium but still gave you confidence about the future of Trinidad and Tobago athletics?
Certainly, as I mentioned earlier, the team comprises emerging athletes, experienced and very experienced. We had who turned 20 at the games, Jaden Marchand, who competed in the 400 meters and reached the semifinals. We had Nathan Cumberbatch, who is in his early 20s, competing at the 800 meters, an event that we don't see Trinidad and Tobago competing in these type of games. We more compete in those events, the middle and long at the regional, Carifta, and those type of things. But these young emerging athletes, we mentioned Shaniqua already. We have Leah Bertram, who is now making her transition from college to the professional scene. We also had young Janet Gans, who is just about 19, 20, left for university in the US. It's her first season, now getting adjustment to the program across there, who competed at these games. She finished 11th, but made it into the long jump finals. So these type of performances, even though they didn't make it to the podium, but certainly is something that we should recognize. And as we mentioned before, that there is hope for the future with track and field based on these young athletes performing at this type of stage.
Yeah. Now, when you look at Trinidad and Tobago's proud Commonwealth Games history from Glasgow in 2014 to Gold Coast in 2018, Birmingham in 2022, and now Glasgow again in 2026, where does this team's performance rank, particularly with the blend of experienced athletes and exciting young talent?
Well, at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games in 2022, we came home with more medals than we did this time around, one more medal. However, the team was a bigger team. There we had two relay teams. Now, this team, as a matter of fact, we had three relay teams, which two of those three would have gotten gold and silver. This time around, we had one female relay team, so it's a bit different. So if I'm to rank it based on performance, and as I said, using the numbers, this will be equal to our 2022 performance.
Mm-hmm. Now, whenever Trinidad and Tobago competes internationally, comparisons are, made with Jamaica, and that's inevitable. Do you think that's a fair comparison, Mr. Voisin, or should our success be measured differently given our size and resources and athlete development system?
I definitely will say our success should be measured differently. However, we cannot turn a blind eye to what is taking place in Jamaica. And that hasn't started overnight. That has been started years ago. The difference between Trinidad and Jamaica is that Jamaica has a culture, especially where track and field is concerned. Trinidad and Tobago, if you ask me, we're not too sure what is our culture in sports generally. The Jamaicans, they have their base comes from the schools, whereas in Trinidad and Tobago, our base comes from the club. I know post-Olympics in 2008, a team headed by the Ministry of Sport, they would have taken a trip to Jamaica to see on a fact-finding mission, to see what Jamaica is doing, what we are doing, and what can we do different in terms of reaching the standard that Jamaica has reached in terms of world dominance. In recent years, a couple of years ago, another team from the ministry, a bigger team, went to Jamaica. They would have visited all the development centers and stuff. As a matter of fact, the government would have signed a understanding, a memorandum of understanding where they're going to come to Trinidad and we're going to go there. It started, and I mean, it has all gone to a halt. Nothing has been followed up. So Jamaica has its culture. If two Jamaicans meet what they call abroad, they would ask, and they realize they're from Jamaica. The first question they would ask is, what school you went to? In Trinidad and Tobago, if two Trinidadians meet outside and realize that Trinidadians, they will ask where you're from. So you see the difference. They are embedded in the school system, which has worked for them over the years. And as I said, it's not something overnight. And it's something that we in Trinidad and Tobago really needs. If we have to take a page from Jamaica, we need to develop all our sports from the school level. There has been talks and plans, and nothing has been fruitful to date, I must say. There is sport taking place in schools, track and field taking place in schools, but at a competitive level, not at a development level. And that is the focus that we need to pay a particular attention to the development of the sport, because your largest group comes from the school system, and then it trickles on.
Yeah. Well,
so
Mr.
that's my...
my last question for you before I let you go. I know I've had you for a while. After a successful Commonwealth Games campaign, what's next now for this group of athletes, and how optimistic are you about Team TTO's prospects heading into the future regional and international competitions?
Well, first of all, track and field is a different sport to all the sports. It's an individual sport where these athletes, and they are prepared individually. So let me explain. Most of our athletes, after they complete school in Trinidad, they goes to the US college system, right? And from there, there's a transition to the professional stage for those who can transit. It's very difficult post college to be on the professional scene. A few of them would have made it. Jeremy Richards is one to mind at this stage, who is presently a professional athlete who graduated from the college system in the US. Each games or competition, team athletes are selected based on their performance achieving the standard. You may pretty find a competition next year. You may not see these same athletes who competed at the Commonwealth Games, because that's just how it is in track and field. So to say what's next for this group of athletes is very difficult, depending on how their next year transit in terms of their training and preparation and stuff. However, in terms of the future of track and field, as we speak, there's a 20-something contingent at the World Under-20 Championships in Oregon, USA. That competition starts in a couple of days, so we have to see how these young athletes progress at the world stage in their age group. The CAC Games, we have a track and field contingent taking place currently, right now. So in terms of the future of track and field, we have the talent, it's bright. It's just a matter of the athletes and them making that transition to the next phase.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Voisin, for joining us this morning. And again, congrats to Team TTO on the 2026 Commonwealth Games. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Have a great day. The time now, it is 6:32. For all the stories that you see here and more, head across to TTT Live online and at TNT Today Show. All our social media channels are always filled with lots of content for you throughout the day. If you want to get in touch with us as well, send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. We take a break and come back.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Coming up on Caribbean Passport, it's pulsating energy, deep cultural traditions. It's none other than Barbados crop over. Being at one with nature's no problem in Antigua and Barbuda, so let's swim with the stingrays. Fashion that's all-inclusive. And Caribbean tourism is at the forefront in Guyana. Be viewing Caribbean Passport as we explore the beauty of our region, right here on this station.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT and TTT Live Online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by
Father Lord, put a hand. How many times you utter that or something similar out of frustration or tiredness when dealing with your family? But even if it isn't said with feelings, prayers are critical to your family life. Remember, a family that prays together stays together. Teach your child about the importance of prayer as a means of connecting with the Almighty God. Show them to express gratitude, seek guidance, and find solace through prayer. Help them to understand that prayer can be a source of strength and comfort in difficult times. At the end of the day, do your best as parents. Share if you found this useful. Like and follow our profile for more parenting tips. The letter of the day is P for prayers.
Trinidad and Tobago is celebrating a historic achievement in science. And for the first time ever, our country has earned a medal at the prestigious International Chemistry Olympiad, with Napari College student Reginald Mohammed capturing a bronze medal at this year's competition in Uzbekistan. And the milestone is the result of years of preparation through the Trinidad and Tobago Chemistry Olympiad, led by the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus in partnership with the Ministry of Education. And joining us this morning are the coordinator of the Trinidad and Tobago Chemistry Olympiad, Dr. Nigel Jalsa, and bronze medalist Reginald Mohammed, to discuss the historic achievement and what it took to reach the world stage and how the program is inspiring the next generation of scientists. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
And also, congratulations. This is a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. How do you feel after all of this?
I feel great. I feel proud to be the first Trinidadian to win a medal.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work, I'm very sure. Yeah. Well, we'll get into that very shortly. Well, Dr. Jalsa, the Trinidad and Tobago has earned its first ever International Chemistry Olympiad medal. And as I said, that's huge. And I believe this is the milestone in only its fourth official participation.
That's right, yes.
So again, very, very huge. So what does this bronze medal really represent now for the national program and for our country's scientific community?
So thank you very much. The significance of this medal to the country and to our program can't be overstated. There are countries with decades plus pedigree in the International Chemistry Olympiad. That there were 92 countries participating this year, and that the Olympiad has been running since the 1950s. So for us, in our only fourth outing, to get a medal when other countries with decades plus pedigree have not is emblematic of the talent pool that we possess in the country, and it's certainly something that we should all be proud of, and that we are all proud of, and that the trajectory is only on the way up from here.
Yeah, definitely a result of hard work, long hours, I can only imagine. Well, Reginald, when you learned that you had become the first student to earn that international medal, what went through your mind?
Well, of course, I felt very happy that my hard work had paid off, and not just myself, but also of all the faculty at the University of the West Indies, the teachers at my school as well, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago who supported us throughout this endeavor, the team as a whole. And also I felt immense sense of pride, to be the first Trinidadian to do so.
Yeah, I must say as well that I've had the pleasure of knowing you grow for the past few years through the Diabetes Association. You were one of the interns. Coincidentally, they're coming in today as well. So, you know, I'm very happy to see your hard work and your progress, and I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
No, you were preparing for 2 demanding 5-hour examinations. It covered theory and also practical chemistry. And this went beyond the secondary school curriculum. Very interesting. But you also were managing your CXC studies. So what was the most challenging part of that journey for you, and what helped you to remain focused?
Yeah, well, it was, of course, the major thing for me was balancing the time, of course. So I would have started with a little bit so-and-so every week, and then as the weeks progressed coming up to the exam, I would have put more and more time into it. But I would say that even though it's much higher than the CAPE syllabus, it complemented my studies very well. So even chemistry is like such a broad field of study. There was a lot of biochemistry in our Olympiad syllabus, as well as a lot of physics and mathematics. So it covered a lot of what I was studying in school as well.
Yeah.
So I just took it in stride and tried to learn something new, adding from all the disciplines of chemistry, whether physical, organic, inorganic. Every week I would try to learn something new. But of course, yes, it was a very demanding. The practical as well was a lot of new techniques that we wouldn't have covered in the CAPE syllabus.
Right.
So such as organic synthesis or something like that, we would have to have done at UE. But the training that we would have received at UE would have been very broad and very focused as well, in terms of they use the preparatory problems from the International Chemistry Olympiad, and they guided us along the way with this new set of topics. And it was very demanding in terms of, in the morning was theory from 9 to 12, and in the afternoon from 1 to 5 was practical.
Yeah.
So we had a full day of work cut out for us as soon as our CXC exams had finished.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was a great process.
Where was this held?
In the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus.
So do you intend to carry on your studies in this field?
Well, I'm looking forward to studying electrical engineering, but I'm also focused on material science as well.
Yeah.
So a bit of the chemistry.
Because I'm guessing this is going to put you ahead by quite a bit. Now, Dr. Delsa, how are students identified through the Trinidad and Tobago Chemistry Olympiad, and what journey takes them from entering the national competition to being selected to represent our country on the international stage?
Right. So the Olympiad is open to every student in Trinidad and Tobago that is not 20 by the July of the year of the competition.
Right.
So any student from any school in Trinidad and Tobago is entitled to enter. And round 1 is held in December of the preceding year, and it is split into 2 levels. So we have level A students that cater for the forms 2 to forms 5, and then we have the level B, which caters for the lower 6 and the upper 6 students. And then after round 1, that's how the top 10 students approximately for both rounds A and for levels A and levels B get online training in physical and organic chemistry, and then they write a round 2 exam in April of the April, and then we select the top 4 students as well as some of the outstanding performers from that round 2 exam to come to the 2 weeks intensive training program at the university, where they get experience across the board.
Now, the students also received, as we were talking about, months of intensive online and face-to-face and lab training as well from the faculty across the UWI's Department of Chemistry. How did that university level exposure now really help them to compete against some of the world's strongest young chemists?
So the approach is holistic. So not only before we even reach to the training aspect, the round 1 exams that we host, we never repeat questions. So we don't repeat questions, and for any of the years that have gone by. So the past papers are useful, but there's no repeating.
Wow.
And then in addition, that what we examine is not recall or regurgitation or definitions, but it's the test, application, and creativity.
That makes it a little harder.
Yes, it is.
Because like when you're studying for CSEC and CAPE, you know, they say if you do 10 years of past papers, there's a good chance you'll know everything that's about to come.
Right.
But this is a game changer.
Right. So the past papers do give you exposure and experience, absolutely, but they do not allow you to predict the questions are going to come.
Oh my God.
Right. So after we have completed the round 1 exam, and then for when the round 2 begins, the training in the Department of Chemistry has academics across the board in each of their specialties. So they get training in the subdisciplines of physical, organic, inorganic, and analytical chemistry, and also that how training in the practical or the laboratory skills. So when we're doing that training, the secondary school system gives us an excellent platform to build upon, but then when we're building upon it, we have a 2-week period between when their CXC exams are finished to flying out to go to the International Olympiad.
Wow. So tell us, what was the experience like networking? I mean, that may have, opened up a whole new world of people and contacts that you will take for a long time, and friends that you've made. How was that?
It was great. I met persons from across the world. They split us up. The different delegations would have stayed in different hotels. So our hotel had a lot of the South American countries, a lot of the East Asian countries, and some European countries. But I networked with people from across the globe. The top 4 chemists from a lot of countries were there. So I was able to network with a lot of people. I would meet a lot of people that I'm going to study in the US. So I met a lot of people who are also studying there. So I was able to make some new friends before I go there.
Yeah, that set you up really nicely for the future. Would you say you learned anything in particular? It could be anything at all. What's one thing that you took away from the experience?
Well, in terms of the academics, I would start with, I definitely learned to be more creative in my problem-solving skills because, like you would have touched on, in CXC, it's a lot of just knowing the topic and then going and writing the exam, right? But in terms of this, it's a lot of creativity and on-the-spot thinking, especially for the practical exam. I mean, you could prepare as much as you want, but they'll give you a whole new type of question. You have to be spontaneous in your thinking because you only have 5 hours. Wow. It may sound like a lot, but with the amount of questions that you have to cover in that time, you have to be really quick in the draw in terms of what you're thinking about. So yeah, definitely spontaneity then.
Yes,
and creativity.
And anything else that you would have learned, maybe just about their human values or anything with people, perhaps?
Sure. Well, the country of Uzbekistan, where the Olympiad was held, it was very friendly and open. I enjoyed. We had a chaperone. Each team had a chaperone from Uzbekistan, so he taught our team a lot about the culture of Uzbekistan, and we were able to tour a lot around the place. The architecture is beautiful.
What about the food?
The food was great. The food was great. It's a very different taste to our food, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I love that for you, and that's gonna shape, your mind in a very different way as you're growing up as well. Dr. Chalsa, for secondary schools students who are watching right now, and they may be curious about chemistry or wondering what might be possible for their own future, what would you say to encourage them to enter the Olympiad?
So what I would note is that your previous guests, both of you were speaking about chemistry with regards to in the sports team. So that underlies the central role of chemistry in everything we speak about. And within Trinidad and Tobago itself, the petrochemical industry has been the mainstay of our economy. But going forward, chemistry itself is going to continue to have an important role to play, whether it be in the development of new pharmaceuticals, materials, etc. So chemistry, and there are diversity of programs that the Faculty of Science and Technology offers that lays the platform for students to excel. And I would say to all secondary school students, take a shot at the Chemistry Olympiad. Writing the exam itself is an experience, and you would be surprised, or you may be surprised at how far that experience does take you.
And this program shows how the UE begins supporting talented students even before they enter the university system.
Absolutely.
So once they enroll at the UE, how does that same level of care and mentorship and academic support continue through the UE's chemistry programs and research opportunities and wider student experience?
So it is often said that how secondary school students entering into a university experience some sort of culture shock, whether it be in Trinidad and Tobago or any country for that matter. So particularly in the University of the West Indies, we have a range of approaches and modes to assist those students. So from within the chemistry department, I could speak about, we have tutorials for students to engage within the practical applications of what they learned in lectures. We have research internships. We have final year research projects. We have chemistry clubs where we have peer advisors. We have help desk, etc., to assist those students who may require some additional out-of-the-class assistance with their study. So it caters to every learning style and every approach for the incoming and present students.
Yeah, I believe you also have the medal with you. Can we take a look at it now?
Sure.
Wow, I like this medal reveal. It's better than the 5K ones. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful and well deserved. Look at that. And you too can earn one of those if you just enroll in these programs and really try your best and work really hard. I love that for you. Congratulations again, Reginald. So, Dr. Jalsa, after this historic bronze medal, what's next for Trinidad and Tobago? Do you believe a silver, a gold? How well within reach is that?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's no limit to our talent within the country. So that in the same way that we built the program up from scratch to reach a bronze medal within only 4 iterations, a few more years of every time we host the Olympiad, the local Olympiad and the training, we learn what we could do better the following year.
Yeah.
So that we improve every year and that we'll keep going from strength to strength. So in a few years' time, I expect that we will get a silver medal, and in a few years' time beyond that, a gold medal. So since our first participation, our global performance keeps improving. So we've never stayed at the same level. We keep improving every year. And that upward trajectory means that a silver medal and eventually a gold medal are inevitable.
Yeah. So Reginald, what's next for you?
So like I said, I'll be studying electrical engineering at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT.
That's come September?
Yes, from September.
Oh, okay. And when are you leaving?
I'm leaving later this month in just a few weeks' time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so lots to do still before you go.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we wish you all the best. What would you say to any student watching right now or anyone that, may believe that they want to do something like this? What would you say to encourage them?
I'd encourage them to just take a shot at it. Like Dr. Jalsa said, it's never repeat questions. It's always something new and spontaneous. So regardless of how much you know in chemistry, take a shot at it because it's a lot of creativity that goes into it. And regardless, you're going to have this achievement to keep working on. And as the years progress, you'll gain more and more in terms of your chemistry knowledge. So hopefully make the team. But even if not, it will help you a lot in your CSEC and CAPE studies. So just take a shot.
Yeah. And what was your support system like throughout this?
Well, I had a lot of support from my family, of course, at home, friends as well. And of course, my school, Naparima College, I got a lot of support, especially practical. They allowed me to just use the lab. And my teacher in school, yes, Mr. Nana, he allowed me to use the lab freely. So I took a 5-hour time and just worked on any problems I felt would have been necessary. And of course, I must thank the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus, the chemistry department, Dr. Jalsa and his team. It was great. The training was so in-depth and in such a short time that we had after our CAPE exams. But it was exactly what I needed to go out there on the world stage and perform well.
Yeah. Underscoring the importance of mentorship that you can get at the UE as well. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Again, congrats, and we look forward to seeing all the great things that you will achieve and also, the UE and this amazing program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The time now, 6:51 in Trinidad and Tobago and on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard responded to a maritime distress report on Sunday, August 2nd, involving the French-flagged sailing vessel Manaora, which had become disabled and was drifting north of Trinidad after suffering a loss of propulsion and was adrift. Well, following the report, the TTS Scarborough, which was on patrol, successfully located the vessel, and Coast Guard personnel safely commenced a towing operation to render assistance. In a statement, the TT Coast Guard noted that they remain committed to ensuring the safety of life at sea and maintaining maritime security within Trinidad and Tobago's maritime area of responsibility. And the curtains have officially closed on the Trinidad and Tobago, actually the Tobago Heritage Festival for 2026. The final event was held on Emancipation Day with a procession and cultural show in Scarborough. CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission, Kern Cowan, believes that 2026 has been a successful year, and his team is already planning for Tobago Heritage Festival 2027, marking 40 years since the festival's origin. Candice Jackson has more.
The Tobago Heritage Festival climaxed with African Emancipation Day celebrations as Tobagonians gathered to celebrate 192 years since the abolition of slavery. With flambeau alight, tambour bamboo, and drumbeat, celebrations began with a late afternoon procession from James Park to the Scarborough Esplanade. Village groups who participated in the festival danced, sang, and paraded through the streets. The procession then led to a cultural show headlined by 2026 Calypso monarch Terry Lyons and other local performances. Reflecting on the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival, CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission, Kern Cowan, said he was pleased with the turnout at community events over the past 2 weeks. He was also impressed with the level of youth participation.
The dancing, the acting, all of the production, that warmed my heart the most, especially in 39th year of the festival, going into 40. I am happy to see that we are moving into a transition of the culture into the next 40 years.
While he noted there were some challenges along the way, Mr. Cowan was pleased that they were able to work with villages to ensure successful productions. He believes that the immersive experiences were some of the best parts of the festival.
Charlottesville was a major highlight. Mariah, fantastic. Belmana Raz, I love those immersive experiences. Tonight at the Emancipation Parade, I had a great time.
Together with feedback they are collecting from patrons, Mr. Cowan said they will be working to see how they can improve these and other experiences in 2027. The Tobago Heritage Festival will be celebrating its 40th anniversary next year, and there will be a focus on making it a homecoming, targeting the diaspora.
What we want to do for 2027 is bring home the people. For 40, bring home the diaspora. There are so many Tobagonians living right in Trinidad that hasn't come home in such a long time. Across the world, in the US and Europe and all over, 40 will be a lot about connecting with the diaspora, bringing them back home and connecting back with the roots.
While the curtains have come down on the 2026 edition, Mr. Cowan is satisfied that the island's story continues to be told to an audience that is eager and willing to listen.
We want to just let everybody know across Tobago, thank you. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for connecting with the culture, the heritage, the traditions, and transitioning into it.
Candace Jackson, TTT News.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success, because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced the establishment of 30 Joint Army police posts in communities across the country in the upcoming 4 months. In a social media post, the Prime Minister explained that the Joint Army police posts will provide a sense of comfort and help communities regain the use of their public spaces, where, she said, for many years communities requested initiatives like these. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar revealed 24 proposed locations, with 6 more to be determined. Some of the proposed locations are Taruba Flyover, Grand Bazaar Interchange, Couva Interchange, Kelly Village, Caroni, Eddie Hart Grounds, Tunapuna, Ikakas Junction, Lady Young Road near the Walkover, the junction of Tamina Road and Kamuto Road. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar encouraged NGOs, business chambers, community groups, and councils to adopt and support these posts and work with the security services. And Minister of Homeland Security and MP for Tunapuna, Roger Alexander, is welcoming the establishment of joint army and police posts in communities across Trinidad and Tobago, including 2 locations within his Tunapuna constituency. The minister said the initiative forms part of a wider crime-fighting strategy aimed at increasing the visibility of law enforcement officers, rebuilding public confidence, and improving citizens' sense of safety. He added that the ministry will continue collaborating with the protective services to tackle criminal activity and safeguarding law-abiding citizens. Meanwhile, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister and Mayaro MP Nicholas Morris also welcomed the announcement after his constituency was selected for one of the 30 joint security posts. Minister Morris said communities have been calling for a stronger security presence for years and described the move as a step toward helping residents feel safer and reclaim public spaces. In other news, Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, has presented a total of $30,000 in seed grants to 2 aspiring entrepreneurs during visits to their homes in Diego Martin and Piti Valley. The grants were awarded to Malana Edwards of Lana's Authentic Garments and Afia Bramble of Hair Judah and Services to help them start or expand their businesses through the Sowing Empowerment Through Entrepreneurial Development, or SEED program. Minister Mohit was joined by Parliamentary Secretary Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj, Permanent Secretary Ryan Ramcharan, National Director of the National Social Development Program Patricia De Leon Henry, and other ministry officials. The ministry says the home visits reflect its people-centered approach to service delivery by taking government assistance directly into communities. It adds that the SEED program is designed to promote sustainable livelihoods, strengthen families, and support resilient communities through entrepreneurship. And in some sport, the English Football Association is set to pull its support for FIFA President Gianni Infantino as fallout grows over his now-scrapped plan to sell stakes in FIFA competitions to private investors. UEFA is threatening legal action over the FIFA proposal to sell stakes in its competitions, and the Wales Football Association has publicly withdrawn its backing for Infantino's re-election bid. The FA plans to write to Infantino directly, with sources telling the media the Scottish FA remains aligned with UEFA's lack of confidence in him. Serbia, Sweden, and Finland have also withdrawn support, while Qatar, Lebanon, Kuwait, and Sri Lanka back him. Infantino stands for re-election next March. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back after the break, it's our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Stay tuned.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
TTT Weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT. And TTT Live online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
And are you enjoying our new Billboard music? It's especially done for you by Tevin Shockness, a panist for the month, well, the Steel Pan month in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're celebrating with you and we're loving it. Well, for many people, a love of cooking begins at home. But turning that passion into profession requires the right skills, the training, and of course the understanding of the industry. Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy is inspiring, well, helping aspiring chefs and food entrepreneurs to make that transition through hands-on, industry-focused culinary education. With registration now open for a new slate of courses beginning in September, students can explore everything from culinary arts and baking and pastry to international and Asian cuisine, bartending, and even the business side of food. Joining us this morning are the Academy's founder, Chef Shiraz Mohammed, and head lecturer, Chef Daryl Thomas, to talk about training the next generation of culinary professionals and the opportunities available in the food industry. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good morning, and thanks for having us. Morning.
First, I should ask, what's for breakfast today? I mean, two chefs are here. What did you have for breakfast this morning? What do chefs have for breakfast? Anything fancy? Wow, no.
Well, as for me, just a cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, same as well. Just a good cup of tea in the morning sets my morning. That's right.
I agree. Well,
but we do have breakfast this morning. We do have breakfast for you guys this morning. Yes, we did.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, interesting. So let's start with you, Chef Shiraz. What inspired you to establish the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy, and what did you feel was missing in the culinary industry and training locally?
Celebrating 40 years in the food industry this year, I have been through different pieces and different sectors of the food industry. And after the COVID, and even before, a lot of people ask, Chef, why don't you give a little class and something, do something? And 4.5 years ago, I did get a spot in Chagonas. There was a young lady owning this cake decorating shop, and I rented a little spot from her, introducing the creative international cuisine, which is basic, and for home cooks and stuff like that. And it started off like that. And then a few months after, she had a place to migrate. She asked me if I would take it over or buy it over, and I bought it over. And I transformed it to the Culinary Academy, the Chef Culinary Academy. So when we look at it now, there's a need to train the next generation as well too. So our academy is structured. We start with the youths. We just recently launched the Culinary Grassroots Program, which the Ministry of Education, they love it, and they give us our blessings. So the Culinary Grassroots Program is geared to the secondary schools, food and nutrition classes. So we do a 3-hour session with them. They come into the academy. Well, we have the opportunity to go to the school, but the teachers bring them to our academy, so they love the environment.
Yeah.
So the 3-hour session is encouraging them and showing them the benefits of coming early into the food industry.
Is this what we're seeing on the screen now? Pictures from that?
So we are building the industry from the ground up and building the human resource from the ground up as well. And we have the kids. We had, in the last 2 months, we had over 15 schools coming to us as well.
Yeah.
So we start with this is some of the schools here. We had from, a lot of them at St. Francis College Girls, St. Joseph Convent, San Fernando. From Toco they come, Palace Seco, Point 14, they come from all over. And we are structuring that. So we start from the ground up, and then we have our kids' summer cooking classes, July, August, Easter as well too.
Wow.
And then we move on to home cooks, professionals, entrepreneurs. We now have all different sort of, but it really, for me as a chef, what really encouraged me for the academy is to see what our next generation is about and to enhance and to support the new generation coming up.
And you both are bringing significant experience in the industry to these students and to all of these courses. So, Chef Darrell, when a new student walks into the academy, what are some of the fundamental skills and habits that you immediately want them to develop?
Good morning to your listening audience. For me, once you enter the academy, right, our main structure is safety and sanitation. Right, so they tend to go through a robust classroom activity with that intention about food safety, because food safety is first, second, and third with us, right? A lot of things people you're seeing outside there, it bugs you, right? Especially, and for young chefs, they must understand that, and afterwards we go into the fundamentals. Right, we go right back to the French cuisine, telling you about the mother sauces, tell you about Paul Bocuse, Escoffier, all these sort of dinosaurs, what we call them. But these are people that actually did the generation and foundation.
Not the dinosaurs.
Well, I'm saying they did the foundation of culinary.
Yeah.
And once here we have the culinary going. I am from a military background, right? I spent majority of my life, well, my whole career in the Defense Force. God bless that place, right?
Wow.
And with that discipline, I came out, right? And this is what I try to impart to the young people.
Yeah.
So in cooking is a discipline. Because if you don't have that discipline, you could never, ever focus.
Yeah, because some people say, I could cook, so I can be a chef. What separates a good home cook from being ready to work professionally in a kitchen? Because no matter how much I would do this at home, if you told me that you should do this as a job, I would say absolutely not. I don't think I can handle that high stress environment. I will probably break down and cry 10 times through the day. I'm only good in my kitchen at home. I don't think I can be a professional. So what does it take and what separates that?
It's the environment.
High stress, right?
High stress, is a very, very high stress environment.
Lots of yelling?
Yeah. Yeah, lots of yelling because, and that's the good thing with our academy. Like myself, Chef Darrell, and our other chefs, Chef Diane, Chef Jamie, Lorenzo, Chef David, we have worked the industry. So that brings more benefits to the students. We know the real life scenarios and we create the real life scenarios for them. So when they come in and we give them the real life experience, they say,
yeah.
So when you go to, we explain that when you go to a restaurant and your guests is outside in their room and there's 100 covers, 100 people out there, know the pressure in your back.
I can become overwhelmed very, very quickly.
So it's about structure, it's about timing, it's about a flow, you know, everything as well, because there's a space of time to send out an appetizer, a main course, a dessert, everything. And
I'm overwhelmed already.
And we create that live scenario for them.
Correct, yeah.
And we time them, we give a lot of time. And so home cook now, and we make a comparison with home cooks. So I say when you're in a professional kitchen, you have to know at least 10 things happening at the same time. The same way as home, you have pie in the oven, you have chicken in the oven, you have callaloo going, you have a salad making, you have potato. So you at a home cook, you focus on everything at the same time. And you wouldn't even know that. You wouldn't even know that. So we kind of make a comparison to them that kind of mellow them down a little bit, and then they understand now what the real life scenario is, and we create that scenario for them as well too.
All right, well, let's talk about the courses that you're offering now, and who can sign up for each of these courses?
We have kids sign up for the courses as well. We had the kids cooking program happen in July and August. We had 3 days in July that went already, it was booked up. And we have 3 days in August coming next week. We structured because people plan the vacation for the 3 days as well. And our classes from 8, the kids are from 8 to 15 years. But I must stress that we have 8-year-old and 7-year-old in this country. It's amazing to see them come into the kitchen.
Correct.
It's amazing.
Look
So we have
amazing.
it's amazing. So we have plans later on. You know, once we get the support, we want to bring a junior master chef on, because I have earmarked a few students already who coming through in the last couple of years. And we want to bring them in and start that as well. So we are open to all ages, even more creative international cuisine. We have retirees, 75 years coming, 60, 70, 75. There's a chef. I 70 years. I said, but you know, well, you're young. So people want to come to the academy and cook something different for the home, for the family, for the friends, like the creative national cuisine. We also have for professionals. We have a lot of qualified chefs in the field that come to us, and they want that to rejuvenate and to fine tune and go back out there. We have a lot of restaurant owners come as well. We have chefs coming, right? So we have something for everybody at all ages as well.
I'm very, very interested in the Asian cuisine. That's a 3-day cooking. Tell me a little bit about that one.
That starts this Saturday. We introduction to authentic Chinese. Not the Chinese you will get into the restaurant, but homemade Chinese food.
Right.
That we have to go and search and source the ingredients.
Okay.
We do North Indian cuisine, Indian North Indian cuisine.
Oh, wow.
We do Manchurian, we do Hakka, we do Thai, we show them how to make Thai curry from scratch with all the ingredients as well. And we advise the students how to get the ingredients as well.
I'm seeing sushi too.
We do sushi, Chef Tommy, Chef Datitupia, the sushi as well.
Yeah, I've been in China last year, June. So I came back with the knowledge of sushi.
So this is three Saturdays, three consecutive Saturdays.
Yes.
Do you still have spaces open for this one?
Yeah, we have spaces. We have spaces available.
I'm going to send all these cameramen to learn how to cook, especially the cooking with kids. I have one behind camera 5 who's just within the age bracket.
One thing I want to add that our classes don't ever be large. So the most is about 10 or 12.
A very intimate setting.
A very intimate setting, because that is what we want to do, because I want each and every person to get that experience when they hear they come and doing the culinary.
Yeah, and that's a really good one-on-one again experience where we can ask questions and all of that. No, there's also a food costing, restaurant and catering workshop on the schedule. Tell me about that, especially for someone who's probably just hoping to start a business, a catering company or something like that. And what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make despite being talented cooks, but they're going into a business like that?
The management and the structure part of it, the food costing is important, because you will see a restaurant or a food business operating and is full of people, whether it's in the takeaway or the dining room. It doesn't mean they're making money. It doesn't. And we have owners who have the business 10, 15, 20 years come to our workshop, and when we expose them to certain information, they say, well, chef, we didn't know that. And one of the first mistakes that any owner does, they don't pay themselves. They don't pay themselves. So we advise them in the food business, coming to the food business, whether it's catering or restaurant operation, we advise them from even registering the name as a sole trader, as a LLC. We advise them how to build a menu, how to cost a menu, how to shop for the menu, how to shop for ingredients, how to negotiate with vendors, and even going to the farmers and getting the best out of it as well. We break down the food costing, we break down even a box of food or a plate of food, and we show them the ingredients, how to cost it, and how to make the profit. So there's labor costs, there's other costs as well before you make a profit as well too. So we advise them basically how to operate the business and make it profitable as well too. Because cooking is a passion, yes it is, but the passion had to pay as well too.
Absolutely.
It has to pay as well too.
Yeah, you know, love can't pay the bills, like we always say. All right, chefs, so before we wrap up, how can we sign up for these courses? How can we get in touch?
You can get us, our website is chefsharasculinary.com. You can go to our website, you will see all our programs. You want to register for the program, you can register as well online and submit the registration form. You can get us on all social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. And also, you can get us on 372-4639, 737-5097. We answer the phones. We answer the phones, we interact, we advise people, and our journey is to continue building and contributing to culinary, hospitality, and tourism in Trinidad. We have a lot of students come from abroad and the Caribbean that come to us. They spend 3 months with us. They do the and they go back and it helps them as well. So we are also getting interest outside the Caribbean and internationally as well too. So those are our contacts. You could see us there and feel free to call us anytime, and we are here to assist in any way we can with the building of the culinary, hospitality and tourism industry.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very, very, very much, chefs. And for more information, we had the information on the screen for you. For more info, you can call that 372-4639 and 737-5097. Thank you once again. And we hope you have a great, I would say, few months of courses. And, you know, just take full advantage of these courses. And they may really help you to get into a career you never even knew that you wanted to be a part of. Well, the time now, it is 7:21 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago and on Trinidad and Tobago Today. So following the public discourse surrounding UTT's Emancipation Day program last week, newly surfaced video from the university's 2023 Indian Arrival Day commemoration shows African drummers performing alongside East Indian musicians, highlighting the institution's long-standing approach of incorporating multiple cultural traditions into national observances. We have something for you now here from ACP News.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world on Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forest alongside our robot pals from Bugspot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT and TTT Live Online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by
Raising awareness is more than just understanding this disease. It's about encouraging early detection, supporting those who are fighting, and reminding us that no one should have to do this alone. Every conversation, every act of support, and every effort we can make to educate others can bring us closer to saving lives. Together, we can build a more informed, compassionate, and healthier Trinidad and Tobago.
Cancer touches almost every family in some way, but we also know that when it comes to fighting this disease, early detection can make a critical difference. For many people, however, the cost of screening and diagnostic testing has become a barrier to getting that potentially life-saving care. That is the driving force behind Hope in Every Step, Cancer Screening 5K, an initiative of the South Branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Medical Association and the South Cancer Support Group. More than just a run or walk, the event is raising funds to provide cancer screenings and diagnostic services for people who may otherwise be unable to afford them. Well, joining us this morning, we have Dr. Fidel Rampersad, Chairman of the South Cancer Support Group. Good morning, Dr. Rampersad. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you for having us.
Well, let's begin with the bigger picture. Why is early cancer screening so critical, particularly for people who may feel, hey, I'm perfectly healthy?
Well, that's the whole point of screening, is that in a well person, you pick up an abnormality before it becomes significant, with the hope that treating that abnormality will actually lead to a better outcome. So, for example, for cervical cancer, if you can pick it up very early or before it becomes cancer, your chances of survival approach 100%. Versus if you wait for a symptom or sign of the disease, it means it's progressed, it's advanced, then you will have to have a whole bunch of treatment and you might have a worse outcome. That's why screening is so important.
And, you know, one of the issues highlighted through this initiative is that some people delay or avoid screening because of the cost So how significant of a problem is that in the communities that you serve?
It's a very big problem, especially for the underprivileged in society, patients who do not have insurance, health insurance, to be able to claim back for these screening tests. Generally, screening tests are affordable, but still out of the reach of many people. The public service does offer screening, but sometimes the wait time can be a disadvantage. We at the South Cancer Support Group offer screening tests for all the major cancers. Our fees are already reduced and subsidized, usually 10 to 20% lower than elsewhere. And what we hope by achieving some additional funding through this 5K initiative, we can reduce those costs even further and possibly even fully subsidize screening for those who can't afford.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, I read the proposal for this 5K that identified mammograms and pap smears and PSA tests among screenings being supported. Now, who should be thinking about those types of tests right now, and when should those conversations with a doctor actually begin?
So everybody should have a doctor that they're comfortable with, a general practitioner, and chatting with your general practitioner, he would have a sort of protocol as to how to guide you along to a healthy, long life. That's the whole point, right? We want to be here for a long time, and we want to be healthy, and we want our families to be healthy. So, for example, a male who's approaching 50, he might want to start thinking about the most common male cancers, which are like prostate cancer and lung cancer. And prostate cancer can be screened by a simple blood test called a PSA, and there's a finger test that all males dread hearing about, but that is optional. A PSA blood test is a simple blood test to check for prostate cancer. If it's elevated, well, then we take it along a certain diagnostic pathway. For lung cancer, the men who are at risk for lung cancer are generally smokers, so they may want to consider getting something that we offer called a low-dose CT scan to be able to pick up lung cancers when they're very early on. For women, when they approach 40, they're looking at a mammogram, and a mammogram is a type of low-dose X-rays that picks up breast cancer before it becomes apparent. And for cervical cancer, the general recommendation is sexually active at age 21. You start screening for pap smear every 3 years, right?
Now, there can also be some sort of fear surrounding cancer screening. And, you know, some people would say, I rather not know because it's a scary experience. What would you say to someone who keeps putting off being screened and being checked because they're afraid of what may be found?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of discomfort that has a big reward. For example, sometimes, unfortunately, we do detect cancers in patients who present for screening who are otherwise well. And what we tell, you know, sometimes the patient becomes tearful and you could see the anxiety. Nobody likes to hear that dreaded C word, right? But what I like to tell them, look, you had this optional screening test, for example, a mammogram that picked up a breast cancer. You picked it up early. You picked it up before there was a lump. Therefore, you actually, if you really think about it, on the flip side, you're actually a little bit lucky because you were able to pick up the cancer before it became apparent, before it spread to the lymph nodes, before it spread to the lungs. You pick it up very small. You're actually lucky. You were proactive and you picked up a cancer, and you can have a much better outcome with an almost 100% chance of survival. You may not need to do radiation and chemotherapy because you picked it up early. So yes, you definitely don't want to hear that you have the C word, that you picked up something on this cancer screening test. But if you pick it up early enough, you can actually have a very, very good outcome.
So let's talk about the 5K now. I know you're expecting hundreds of participants for this one. So tell us all about the 5K. I know it's open to all fitness levels. So, you know, there may be people that think, well, I don't think I'm ready for a 5K. I don't think I'm a big runner or anything like that. But who can participate in this 5K for a good cause?
It's for everyone. You can run, you can walk, you can take a leisurely pace. You could even just do a couple of minutes and come back to the finish line, right? We're not too strict, and we're not going to expel you or fine you. It's for every degree of fitness level. We want you just to come out. The hope is to expose you to the activities of the South Cancer Support Group, encourage a little bit of fitness out on the way, as well as encourage community spirit. You know, so much now we hear about divisions in society. We want to bring everybody together. And this is for the first time in South Trinidad that we actually have an agency that's based in South Trinidad that's promoting screening in our population. So the 5K itself is a 5K, but it's more of a community event. We have all degrees of fitness categories, people coming in just for the 5K, but just come for a walk with the family. That's perfectly fine. We already sold out in terms of the formal registration. So even if you're not registered, you're still encouraged to come and do the 5K walk with us.
Right. Well, how can we register for this, or how can we even make donations or contribute in any way?
So you can check the Instagram and Facebook pages, and there's all the information there, how to contact us and call us. And we at the South Cancer Support Group, which is nestled right between Naparima Bowl and the San Fernando General Hospital.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Ampasad. This is happening this coming Sunday. It's August 9th from 6 a.m. in San Fernando. And, go out and support and have a good time. And please don't wait. Be one step ahead and screen early, because it can definitely make a difference for you and your family and your loved ones as well. 7:34, that's the time. For all the stories that you saw here and more, head across to TTT Live online and at TNT Today Show. If you want to contribute to the show in any way, all you have to do is send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you simply want to collaborate with us, again, that email, it's tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, news you can trust, stories that matter. More ahead.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Coming up on Caribbean Passport, it's pulsating energy, deep cultural traditions. It's none other than Barbados crop over. Being at one with nature is no problem in Antigua and Barbuda, so let's swim with the stingrays. Fashion that's all-inclusive. And Caribbean tourism is at the forefront in Guyana. Be viewing Caribbean Passport as we explore the beauty of our region, right here on this station.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
Welcome to the world's largest and most influential entrepreneurial network. Welcome to Techstars. At Techstars, we believe great ideas can come from anywhere. That entrepreneurs can and do change the world. That's why we run thousands of startup weekend programs in more than 600 cities and 120 countries, connecting, inspiring.
The music industry is about much more than what happens on stage. Behind every artist and every song is an entire ecosystem of technology, marketing, management, finance, and business. And there is a tremendous potential for new Caribbean ideas to emerge within that space. And this weekend, Techstars Startup Weekend Music Port of Spain is bringing entrepreneurs, creatives, and industry professionals together for an intensive 54-hour experience where they'll pitch ideas and form teams and develop solutions and ultimately present their concepts to a panel of judges. The event runs from August 7th to the 9th at 1 Woodbrook Place. And joining us this morning to tell us more is Melissa Jimenez, General Manager of Music Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Melissa.
Morning.
How are you?
Morning. I am good, and how are you?
I'm doing great. So let's talk about what exactly is Techstars Startup Weekend and what makes this particular edition focused on music and what makes it different.
So Techstars Startup Weekend is an international brand, formerly owned by Google for Entrepreneurs. It's now owned by a tech giant called Techstars, which focuses on entrepreneurialism, startups, and that whole ecosystem, as it were, from the accelerators all the way to the hackathons and all these different types of events. So it is a brand that anyone, not only us, but anyone can bring to Trinidad and Tobago. And this is actually the second time that we're doing it. So the first time was back in 2019, also focused on music, of course. So yeah, music is our specialty. So that is definitely why we're focusing on the music. We want persons to come with solutions to helping solve problems within the music industry, and that is where entrepreneurialism begins, right?
Now, when we talk about entrepreneurship within the music industry, what kinds of businesses or solutions are we hoping that the participants will explore?
So it can be anything from any sector. And what do I mean by that? It can be music in health, so something to assist music therapy. What is happening now within the music therapy space locally that we need to fix, right? This is where the business ideas come out from. It can be infrastructure. Do we need more studios? Do we need an international type studio? And if we need that international type studio, what is it bringing differently to the forefront to invite the world in, as opposed to the studios that we have now? It can be in product design. Steel pan, the last thing we had innovation-wise was the G-pan. So is there anything that we can do with the sticks to make it more ergonomic for your hands while you're playing? You know, you come up with some sort of ideas in the music business side of things, in the recording industry. Well, we know there's plenty of things to fix in our recording industry. So, you know, what in that space in particular do you think we can solve?
The business of music, it can be quite lucrative as well. You
Of
just need
course.
to learn how to tap into it. Now,
course.
how much of that untapped business potential do you think exists within Trinidad and Tobago's music industry beyond being, let's say, an artist or a performer?
I think there's a lot of areas that we don't tap into. A lot of the focus when you talk about the music sector as a whole is usually on the music industry, because we look at the soca artists, the calypsonians, the chutney artists, etc. So a lot of the emphasis is always placed on the performer, but there are hundreds of different areas across the music spectrum that I think people aren't tapping into, and that's causing gaps within our ecosystem and causing people to have to go outside and seek outside expertise to come in and do things. So I think a little more exploration or even exposure from a young age, from the primary schools, from the secondary schools, as to what exists out there in that field is crucial.
Yeah. Well, all of this you can learn about and more this coming weekend. So tell us about the event now. How can we be involved?
Right. So the event is a 3-day, 54-hour event. So Friday, persons come in, participants. You do not have to have an idea to pitch, to participate in the event. So Friday, persons come, they pitch their ideas, and then you form teams around those ideas. So the teams that are formed goes into Saturday. Saturday, they will come, they will learn about how to use a lean canvas. Instead of, having to do a 50-page business plan, 1-page lean canvas. And then we also have a really good lineup of mentors that will come in early Saturday afternoon and will help them to refine the ideas. And the mentors are from different walks of life. So you have marketing, legal, business development, etc. Different expertise coming in there. They are also encouraged on Saturday to go out and do market validation. So, we love to create products and solutions in a bubble and then say, yeah, they need it. And we're like, no, they don't need it. They don't even want it. So you want to mitigate that from early o'clock. And because it's music, we decided Saturday night we're going to throw in a jam session to kind of, get participants flowing and, get the workload off of their shoulders a little bit. And then Sunday, they pitched a panel of judges, and the judges are going to evaluate their ideas and give them feedback, of course, as to whether they're on the right direction for their business idea.
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa. All the information is on the screen for you right now. And, thanks for joining us on Techstars Startup Weekend. It's taking place, as we said, this weekend. And it really brings together music and creativity and technology and entrepreneurship. Very, very important. We wish you all the best, all the success in the world with this, Melissa. And hopefully we can chat soon again.
Thank you very much.
All right. 7:45, 15 minutes before the top of the hour. We take a quick break. And when we come back, there's more for you.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house lives. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba yeah. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Arubita, yeah 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
As we continue our celebration of Steel Pan Month, we're shining a spotlight on the woman helping to keep our national instrument vibrant and moving forward. Our next guest is award-winning steel pan artist Taisha Alexander, who began playing pan at just 6 years old and has since made her mark through competitions and performances and all her work with young musicians. And this morning, we're celebrating her journey, Woman in Pan, and of course, the beautiful sound of our national instrument. Taisha, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
So, Taisha, you started playing the pan when you were just a little girl. How did that journey begin for you?
So I would have began playing pan at the age of 6 years old. My grandmother approached a family friend who lived not too far from me. So I'm from countryside, Mayo, Trinidad and Tobago, well, Trinidad, sorry. So she would have approached him. He had this small ensemble going on, and she said I needed something to do rather than, playing.
Okay.
So I would have been playing from 6. I started performing, and then it branched off into teaching. I studied at the university, and then now I teach.
Wow.
Yes.
And that was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of playing and doing the things that usual, 6-year-old kids do, you were learning to play the pan.
Yeah.
And look how that has turned out for you now.
Yes,
so that was
very fruitful.
honestly a great investment in your future. Now, what was it about the steel pan that made you fall in love with the instrument?
I would say the sound. The sound is so astonishing. Anybody that proclaims that they don't have a love for the instrument, I would say, listen again. But listen with your eyes closed. I think that the steel pan has had the opportunity to take me to various places. Mm-hmm. And I really hope I could do the same for others.
Yeah. Now, you've won several competitions over the years. Which achievement was the most special for you?
I would say my first time as a drill master with T&Tech New Eastside Dimension. We would have won preliminaries, semi-final, and the final round. So that, I would say, being the first female, and I believe the youngest, would have been my greatest achievement.
Wow. Now, as a woman in pan, what has your experience been like? And have you seen more and more women really stepping forward in the steel pan movement?
I would say that my experience would have been shocking at first because a woman taking lead in any environment is a culture shock, still to this day. But I would have had the opportunity from even going to school to be blessed by amazing teachers like Dr. Mia Gormandy, Vanessa Headley. So women would have come before and paved the way, influencing my decisions in music, and then I am hoping as well to influence the decisions of young ladies that are hoping to become musicians.
I know you also work with young musicians. Now, what do you enjoy most about introducing this next generation to pan?
So in Tobago, I would have had the wonderful opportunity as steel pan coordinator with the Division of Education to create a kindergarten and primary school steel pan focused Tobago-centric curriculum, which not only impacts the youth and their education, but it also encourages them to learn about the heritage and cultural transmission in Tobago, which is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing great work. Now, we're celebrating Steel Pan Month. What does it mean to you now, Taisha, to see greater recognition being given to a national instrument?
I think that it is very important to honor those that came before us and those that set the foundation. So honoring them as well as, letting the young people learn about the things that came before us, what's happening now, and what we can do as young people to make a better future for the culture of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. What would you say to a young woman looking on right now who wants to pursue pan, but they're not sure if they have what it takes?
I would say that I was once in your shoes. When you're doing music, your parents will say, "It have no money in that." Pan has allowed me to travel to multiple places, to gain new opportunities, meeting new people, going back to the opportunities. Without the opportunities and networking, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I would say don't study anybody else and focus on what you want to do. And that's all. And pray. Pray and the Lord will show you the way.
Taisha, what do you want to see done more for the steel pan movement in Trinidad and Tobago?
I would say that, first of all, Pan Trinbago is doing a wonderful job highlighting the different aspects of the culture of the steel pan in Trinidad and Tobago. But I would like to see more forums, more caravans engaging the youth. Social media is one thing, but you have to be out on the streets, reaching and connecting with everybody to have a deeper connection.
Yeah, some more education, perhaps. In the schools?
In the schools, yes. I would say being the steel pan being the national instrument, I would say just put the recorder on the table just for a little bit and ensure.
Listen, we have a lot of memories and trauma from playing the recorder.
I have been there.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever picked up a recorder after I learned how to use it in school. So I don't know. I mean, there must be some real purpose that we're using the recorder, but it might be a really good idea to incorporate steel pan a lot more. Taisha, do you play any other instruments?
I had a short singing journey when I used to work at the cruise ship. I think God has blessed me with many talents, but singing is not really one of them.
So why did you start?
Why? Okay, so on the ship, singing and playing it makes things more engaging. It's a way to connect with the Eurocentric crowd.
Okay.
So it made things a little bit easier with regards to performing.
Singing and playing the steel pan at the same time.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen much of that at all. So that might have been very difficult. So, give yourself grace with that one. So what's next for you, Taisha?
I really would like to continue my journey impacting the education system. It's been a pleasure and I've learned so much. And I really want to make sure that, I can assist with a brighter future for the children.
Thank you very much. A wonderful way to close our show and to continue our celebration of Steel Pan Month. Taisha, thank you for joining us and for sharing your talent with us, and to all the women and young people finding their own voice through pan. We celebrate you and the role that you're playing in carrying our national instrument forward. Well, the time now, it is 7:56. This is where we say thank you and goodbye. We do this all over again tomorrow, 6 to 8 on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Don't forget, from tomorrow we start linking up with our sister stations. Also, we're joined by Communal Realty as we do every single Wednesday. And of course, have a wonderful and safe day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
So, you're not setting rules home, but telling your daughter, don't let no teacher have to call you because you're not following rules in school? You ever hear the old people say, butt in your crease? Better believe you could use that to set boundaries with your children. You are more than a friend to your children. Set clear, healthy boundaries for both you and your child. Make sure they are age-appropriate and, most importantly, consistent. This helps them understand what behavior is expected of them and provides a sense of structure and stability. It gives you a framework of trust and understanding to build on. And so at the end of the day, do your best. Share if you found this useful, and like and follow our profile for more parenting tips. Letter of the day, B, boundaries.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack. Whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes, we are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Good morning. This is your CDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. A secondary student from Trinidad and Tobago won a medal at the 58th International Chemistry Olympiad. The 5-hour theoretical and practical examination for pre-university students took place in Tashkent, Uzbekistan from July 10th to 19th, 2026. Coordinator of the TT Chemistry Olympiad, Dr. Nigel Jalsa, explained the importance of this accomplishment.
The significance of this medal to the country and to our program can't be overstated. There are countries with decades plus pedigree in the International Chemistry Olympiad. That there were 92 countries participating this year, and that the Olympiad has been running since the 1950s. So for us, in our only fourth outing, to get a medal when other countries with decades plus pedigree have not is emblematic of the talent pool that we possess in the country.
The winner of the bronze medal in the competition, Reginald Mohammed, described how he felt when it was announced that he had won the medal.
I felt very happy that my hard work had paid off, and not just myself, but also of all the faculty at the University of the West Indies, the teachers at my school as well, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago who supported us throughout this endeavor, the team as a whole. And also I felt immense sense of pride, to be the first Trinidadian to do so.
Dr. Jalsa explained that the Chemistry Olympiad never repeats questions from the previous year, so the program at the UE trains students to handle the intense pacing of the international examination. In other news, the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services is supporting efforts to prevent gender-based violence through a new initiative targeting young men. The ministry has provided a $10,000 grant to the Coalition Against Domestic Violence for its Colors of Peace Empowering Young Men to Prevent Gender-Based Violence program. The 8-week project, set to begin in October, will engage 15 young men between the ages of 13 and 19 in sessions focused on positive masculinity, emotional awareness, healthy relationships, and nonviolent conflict resolution. Minister Mohit says addressing gender-based violence requires the involvement of men and boys, adding that initiatives like this are critical in creating safer families and communities. The Coalition Against Domestic Violence has been working since 1985 to combat gender-based violence through advocacy, counseling, education, and training. In more news, Grace Kennedy Trinidad and Tobago Limited, originally registered by the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago as a bill payment service provider in 2014, was upgraded to a payment service provider effective August 1st, 2026. According to correspondence from the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, this expanded registration allows Grace Kennedy to offer a wider range of regulated payment services, including bill payments. Grace Kennedy Trinidad and Tobago is part of the Grace Kennedy Group, ultimately owned by Grace Kennedy Limited in Jamaica. In addition to its new PSP status, Grace Kennedy TT is licensed as a bureau de change and serves as the exclusive Western Union agent in Trinidad and Tobago, providing foreign exchange and money transfer services. In sport, Mexican boxer Paula Hernandez is advanced to the semifinals of the women's 60 kg division after defeating Trinidad and Tobago's Tiana Guy in a closely contested 3-round bout that went the full distance. Guy would eventually go down on points in a 4-1 split decision that left the boxer visibly frustrated.
Usually I don't be at a loss for words, but this time I really am. I felt like I had the fight, I had the medal right in my hand, and I think what hurts most is everybody else coming and telling me that same thing. Countries like Colombia, Cuba, and they're saying, you know, because you're from a small country and you're fighting a bigger boxing country, and they have more numbers, so they make it more noise. The judges was a bit swayed. But that's unfortunately boxing.
You still did us proud, Tiana. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. On behalf of our entire team here at TTT, have a great day.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.